Note to consumers, originally our Star Wars Boba Fett figure was designed to have a spring-launched rocket. The launcher has been removed. Oh wait, it's gonna fire now. Just kidding. So now here's what he did with all his figures. Bubble is 100% sealed. Never been removed. Gun's still on the tape. What he did is we had a crazy Star Wars day. So we knew a guy was coming. And before he even got here, 2 other guys came. So this is one of them. A nice Empire Strikes Back Millennium Falcon. And I believe almost all of his stuff, or everything is, I didn't mean to do that. So now I gotta go pull parts out of the other thing, but it's really white. I mean, it's really clean. You got the training ball. That's your money part. And then these are actually the next best rarest part because these will always be broke. I guess the little struts that let this down. So there's that. But I mean, this is really white. I mean, those decals are so good, I'd almost question that they were repro. But there's your decal sheet. There's your instructions. So this is and the crazy thing is this guy and then the guy who came later, there's a lot of similar pieces. But in the big scheme, Star Wars doesn't have a ton of stuff. So this is the turret Probot playset. There's a variant box. There's, what do you call that? Ampersand? No. Backslash? What's the big A? Is that ampersand? So there's the one with the ampersand, the and symbol. And then I think the one with the slash might be the rare box. It's not the best box. But this was a cool playset. It's pretty basic. I mean, you just got this. You got your little Probot. And then you get your little turret. That makes a little... And then I think all of his stuff, or at least most of it, had the instructions, which was cool. And the cool thing with Kenner back then is if you had a problem, you wrote them, you get your parts. Falcon's a good box. This is an okay box, but it's a rarer box. Okay, so then we don't see this that often. This was a cool piece. I had this as a kid. So this is the Star Destroyer. It's got great graphics. You can recreate the deck on the Executioner where Vader's talking to all the bounty hunters, tells Boba Fett no disintegrations. And it's not assembled, but everything's in here. Like really sharp blue, really nice white, like no discoloration. But like no internal cardboard or anything. Okay. So then there's that. And then he had a little bit of modern, like this is just a cool Han on Tauntaun. This is just a little unique piece. This is the ISP-4. These are what they call the mini rigs. But this isn't a tri-logo box. The American box has got a flap that sticks out, so it's bigger. I couldn't really find a whole lot of information on this. It's like, I think when I was looking on eBay, there wasn't even any tri-logo boxes. So I think he did this because he said the bottom's open. I mean, meaning I think it's just not taped. So really good graphics. I think my favorite playset from the Star Wars line. And so in here is your trash monster, the Dagobah, I think, which is cool. And I think I took his word. Did I open this? So this is the original phone. It's hard, so if I were to squeeze it, it would disintegrate. But it's original Death Star phone. So somewhere is the rope. But anyway, Now this one, he didn't know this. I pointed this out. A lot of people don't know this. Or if they buy one. So, because he said it was complete, and actually it's not. Because this sits on here. I don't want to snap it in, but this will snap and lock in there. And then this gun, you press down. When it's on there, when you do this, this pops off. So in order for that to work, it's not present, so you can see all the way through this. I mean, you could see me on the other side. There should be, it almost looks like the end of a Phillips head screwdriver sticking through like a little prong, that when you do this, when you press that down, it goes behind this, that holds it in place. And then when you do that, when I flip this, it shoots the thing off. So it's totally gone. So somehow it was removed. So this you got to take off. And that's on any Death Star playset, that's the problem. I mean, the rope's a problem. The trash monster's a problem. But those are just not just pieces you have to acquire, not that they're broke. This is some of the very early stuff. So even before you could get action figures, you could get puzzles. So I like the black box ones better. But I mean, they're just cool. They ain't worth a lot. I mean, I think these are $10 to $20. But I mean, he had pretty much all of them. That's great. There's your Vader and Kenobi fighting. X-Wing and TIE Fighter. And then you got your Yavin base. So, these are cool. All right. He had an AT-AT, missing everything. So, you got your battery cover, gone. The chin guns, which are gone, which are always gone. The roof, which that's a $50 part, gone. And then, also underneath, there's a little cover that covers this light bulb, gone. So basically every part that matters is gone. So it's just a haul. So don't have a whole lot of value. So one of my favorite lines. So you got the Kenner Micro collection. I think it's kind of like sealed contents. Just open box. Oh, I don't know. Or maybe he, you know what, he might have taken them out. Yeah, because that would have been like that. Well, maybe. Yeah, so there's the little figure still in the baggie. So this was really cool. I wish this line continued. We never got an AT-AT. Didn't even get anything Jedi, I don't think. Oh, yeah, you did. No, you didn't. No, you had Hoth. Okay, box. All right, so we got the original TIE Fighter. Yeah, this one's pretty. All right, so there's your... I think he said he had an extra decal sheet. So, not bad. It's not super white or anything. Dirty. Clean battery compartment. So yeah, that's a good piece. Oh, that's his. This is just, it was just a hodgepodge. So this is just a bunch of Mark stuff. Old Army Men play sets, but it's all mixed. This is the cooler box, just because it's kind of impressive when you open the lid. All right. So this is, the graphics are cooler than the game. The game's kind of boring. But again, one of the early things you could get. So we got that. So we have an ATST, an okay box, but this one's no roof or roof gun. So That one's just an okay. So here's a Tauntaun. It's not the open belly. It's the regular Tauntaun, but the reins are not broke. So that's the money right there. Otherwise, I got a bin full of these guys. So not the best box. Proof of purchase is gone. So we'll notice on his collection, there are proofs of purchase gone because he has those mail away figures. All right, so there's a Dewback. See, this old style box is just so cool. They're just hanging out back here. But, and then there's a second release where it's, you might think you're getting the first release, but there'll be this little red splash, and that's the collector series box, and that's a redo of the original box, even though it's still vintage. And he didn't have his reins. And then when they did the special edition, they changed the way these guys looked. I like them to look this way. Proof of purchase gone. All right, so Dagobah playset. No original foam, but you got your two little crates, and the crates are different. Sometimes people don't know that. And then this little, that's the hard part. That's just a little thimble. That's just what I call it. I mean, that's the money in the whole set. Because what you do is, you have this to elevate R2, or you elevate the crates. And then you put Luke on that, and you can make them levitate. But R2's too hollow underneath, so you have to shove this underneath R2, and then you thread that in here. If I could do it. And now you can levitate R2. So otherwise, R2 goes all the way down and touches the ground. I mean, this is a pretty cool playset. Okay, so he didn't cut the proof of purchase off that one. Okay, so Snowspeeder. What's kind of cool when you see this number, these are catalog numbers. So this was ordered out of a catalog. So whether it was JCPenney, someone will tell you by looking at that number where that came from. Montgomery Ward, Sears, or Spiegel, or so. That's, wait till you see the other one. So this, and when you can see the difference in comparison. So yeah, this is not complete. It's literally just this. Okay. This is, I think out of everything he brought toy-wise, this and there's a Jabba in here. This is the only thing sealed. But see, you could be like Chewbacca and have your bandolier and put all your dudes on it. You can walk around the shop with that, right? So then we got Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Again, original box, not with the big explosion that says Collector Series. Yeah, so yeah, it fits right in. On these old ones, these stickers will come clean off. So this is good. Stickers are pretty good. Instructions are in here. So a lot of times when you buy the box stuff, you don't get the instructions. So, or I take them home. I had this game too. It's okay. It's just I don't know. You spin a thing and you move so many spaces. It was kind of boring. So then here's your Slave One, or Boba Fett Starship now, or whatever. It's a nice box. Good graphics. And there's a piece of tape, but he put the tape over the existing tape, so you're not harming it. Even though I prefer that he didn't do that. Okay. See, so you got to, but it's nice looking. You just got to slide these on. These will be broke too a lot. So you have to be careful if you have an old one and you're trying to take them off. But it's super clean. Then the Carbonite, Han and Carbonite is inside. But yeah, this isn't a hard vehicle to complete. It's hard to get in good shape. And really, to me, this is the only hard part. The Hutt and Carbonites, I have plenty. It's that. Okay. And then this one has the the instructions and the used sticker sheet. So those are nice bonuses. Boba Fett Starship. All right. All right. Imperial attack base. So that's a sharp box. It's kind of, I mean, there ain't nothing really rare in this. I mean, there's 2 little roof pieces that are sometimes gone, but otherwise, but that was cool. So you had 2 Hoth bases. You had Wampa. I don't know if this is white. Yeah, so see this guy. Still a good box. But ain't looking too sharp. From playing in the yellow snow. But you can put the Salon 40 on that and you could whiten them if you choose to. Put them in the sun. Speeder bike. Oh no, so yeah, no, that's sealed. So that's a really nice one. That's sharp. So that's cool. Is that cool? He's cool. Landspeeder, super cool. Really basic, but I mean, you know, it would hover, kinda, and then you put that up, and then he won't hover. And then you could work on the engine. I used to hide guns in there, but you know, it wouldn't want to close real good. All right, so then, again, this is a cool playset. This is the one that I'm trying to get. I didn't get that one yet, right? No, I don't have that. So Kenner did the Real West version. It's like a Western. You can never find that. But yeah, this was cool. So you'd put the door here, and you got, these are like saloon doors. Ooh, he's got the receipt in here. Oh, geez. Something was $1.78, probably a Star Wars figure. $2.37, $5.90, I don't know. And then this was, you just would wrap this around that. I don't want to pop it all the way in, and then you had your saloon doors, and then you just go in, and you're in the cantina. So the hard part for this is these doors. Even got the little rubber band. But there is a Western version of this that's impossible to find. That's not Star Wars, but it's Kenner. All right, so there's that. And then he told me, so this is still sealed. So this is an original Jabba the Hutt playset. So never opened. Okay. Here's a giant Amazon box. All right. So yeah, this is cool. So this is my favorite Star Wars piece, Star Wars Early Bird. Really nice looking. Open. But, you know, if you're going to display that, that's perfect. And you don't want to spend like $5,000 or $6,000 or $10,000 for a sealed one. And then everything's in here. And it's not been, you know, normally this is all off. There's the little stickers it came with. Oh, but you know what? The little pegs are not here. And there's, is this might be the real, but yeah, I just love this. I think this is the first one. No, wait a second. Yeah, so no, were there pegs in this? I thought there was pegs. Maybe there wasn't pegs in this. All right. There had to be though. Maybe not. But yeah, so you would take the thing, mail it in. So yeah, so the redemption thing here, and then they would send you the first 4 figures. Be the first kid in your neighborhood to have Star Wars. And that's how you can get your double telescoping Luke, or Chewbacca's kind of got like a little green satchel. This is cool. So they repurposed this base, where there's Land of the Jawas, then there's, it was also used again here. But I just, again, I love cardboard. So that, you know, same base, different backdrop. So you got your Rebel Command Center and your Ice Planet Hoth. The figures are not here, but, or actually I think they are, because see, they would come like this in a box, just like this. So the figures are in here, but they're opened, if I recall right. So he did keep everything. So there's your Luke Hoth, or your AT-AT driver. These are cool, but opened. And then there's your R2, your pop-up R2. So if you were trying to, this would, like, if you couldn't buy one sealed, this is the next best way to get it, because you're getting everything. Because, like, to me, that has a lot of value, because these will survive. Very few with the box, and then with the box, you're not going to have that. And then to have the 3 dudes, or 2 dudes and a droid, that could be a band. All right, if I could get this all the way down. I gotta put it all. So I have this at home. I don't have this box. So I'm gonna take this box home. All right. So let's put this back. And these are the little pieces that, because you go like that. But I don't even remember now. Anyway, I ain't doing it. I ain't messing it up. It's like minty. Okay, so and then this one didn't come. I'm pretty sure this one was a catalog one, whether it was JC Penney or something. This one didn't. You didn't get any dudes with this one, so you're just gonna have your AT-AT. This one's got the instructions, so that's cool. Okay, so we got those 2. Again, one of my favorite pieces. So this is the Imperial Troop Transport. This is the one that talked. There's also an Imperial Cruiser, which is the Sears one that doesn't talk. This was just awesome. And then you got, so that goes up there. And then these are these little things that you had the stormtroopers wear. What they mean or do, I have no idea. On the Sears one, that's hollow all the way in because there's no electronic mechanism, so you could actually store more dudes in the Sears one. And then he has the paperwork, which is awesome. And this isn't the best box, but it is a box. And it's not like this stuff's getting any younger. Okay, and then to X-Wing, original X-Wing. And this one, he said, I don't know why, but as a kid, I customized it. But, you know, you're a kid. That's what you do. So he battle damaged it. He painted gray on it. So this would be more for parts, for the canopy. Well, actually not the canopy, because he painted that too. I think he did like little gray. That might be able to come off. I don't know. But yeah, no, super cool. All right. And then he had one boxed indie piece, which this is your map room set, which anything indie's tough. So this is, what is this? Is it a real rangefinder or whatever you call that? And then there's your indie, which is cool. We got our instructions. Oh, and it says it's indie, has that quick action. And then, yeah, so this is a good one. So yeah, so this one's, I guess, sealed contents. So there's all your little pieces. And then I could show you the, and then there's the map room. Sideshow did a really cool 1/6 version of this. But it's cool. So that's how he knew where to dig. They were digging in the wrong place. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. I might have to keep this. I might be able... Okay. Belloc. Oh, so then if we're doing... I think we're... Well, since we're on an indie, I know in this here, this is a mail away Belloc. Or what does he say? They were looking for Beloche. And then he goes, Belloc. You mean Belloc? So yeah, that's at the end of the movie, you know, before all their faces melt. And I think he was... I don't know. He's somebody in Power Rangers. Zordon? No. I don't know. Somebody will tell me. But actually, I didn't have that. He's not the face that talks. He's somebody. Bad guy. All right, so then... So I think we did all the box stuff. So he had 2 Darth Vader cases. There's nothing, no figures. And sticker sheets. And the interesting thing he told me, so, which is why you see how they're all really cut up wacky and wonky. So let's just say somebody's called Snaggletooth and I need the letter N. He literally cut apart the individual letters and then overlaid them to spell characters' names that he didn't have. So like this is an S, that's a Q, that's a U. These are all different letters to make a squid head character name. Because see, this is an Empire sheet. So you're not going to have Jedi character names. And there's like some of the remnants of him cutting. Which is, I'd never seen anybody do that. So he literally took the letters he needed and cobbled together the character names he wanted. Which was kind of cool. That was a first. Now this one did have figures. So the figures were just okay. Actually, you know, heavy wear. I mean, like the Luke's kind of shot. The Stormtroopers are... Luke always, his limbs, Bespin Luke, his chest always discolors from his limbs. That's why it's so difficult for me to put one in the case. And then look at this one. One arm discolored from the other arm. So So the best things in this case, because everything was pretty much well worn. I mean, no piping on the Bespin guards. I mean, you got some decent Yodas. This Luke Jedi is nice. And then anytime I can get an original Han, they're usually always so beat up. So yeah, this is just more what I call the beaters. Okay, so gotta close it quick. Now, when you see the other collection, the figures are night and day. Okay, so then lunch boxes. These are all beat. I mean, rusted, but they all have their thermoses, and they'll look great in any. You know, we sell this stuff all the time, but they'll be affordable because they're not immaculate or anything. You know, they're like a kid took them to lunch a lot, and the thermoses are pretty nice. So then here's your original 3 movies, but then they also started to do them plastic, which, you know, with the thermoses. I just like them better, the metal ones, but that's just for me. And then there's your little Ewok one, Wicket and R2. So these are cool. These are more valuable than those. These usually are easier to be because they don't rust and get chipped. All right, so then this is your little record tote thing, your little Star Wars records. This was kind of cool. Still got the paperwork. He had a nice Empire case. No figures, just a nice clean case. A nice Star Wars case. That's the best one. It just looks so cool. 2 of the original Han blasters. Incomplete. But they're cool. This is missing one of these. These are the hard parts. These little knobs that turn, and that's what opens the battery cover. But if you have one of these complete and they work, they got good value. I don't know. I ain't gonna break this. I mean, there's just so much. There's a little Emperor's Royal Guard Bank. Cool. Like a tchotchke item. He did all his trading cards. Like, this looks professional, but he vinyled that. He made this. And so then, these are your Wonder Bread cards. And then, there'd be your wax pack. And then now you got your blue series. There's your series 1. And there'd be 66 cards. There were 66 cards per series. And then, you know, your next series is red. So then, you know, there's the wax pack, and then there's your red series. And then he didn't have the stickers. There might be a few stickers in here, but I think maybe that's for Empire and Jedi. But, you know, and then there's your wax pack cover. See, here's some stickers, and they were actually used. They're peeled off. Okay, so there's a rare card in here. They call it the Goldenrod card. So it's in the green series. So I'm going to find it and show you. All right, well, there it is. So if you look at this card, what do you see? It's a little inappropriate. So somebody working at Topps decided, kind of like them Disney animators who made the clouds say things. So that's like an $80 card just because of that. Which orange was kind of cool because it showed you a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So you would see behind the scenes stuff. Like, here's a lot of the cast or the model makers, and so it was just cool. I used to get these from the ice cream man, gas station. Okay, so this was series 1 or 1 through 5, and then he did Empire. Same thing. Picture of the pack. Empire had a lot more cards. So he has two of the series for Empire. There's actually 3 Empire series. And then for Jedi, I think he only has series 1. But there's actually 2 series for Jedi. A lot of people don't know that. And then he just had some Clone Wars cards in the back. So there's 5 Star Wars, 3 Empire, 2 Jedi. Top series. Okay. This... I don't know what that is. This was cool. Look at that. I had this for the Intellivision. So this is the Atari one. Star Wars. It's a really tough game, but it's cool. All right. Parker Brothers made that. And then just miscellaneous books, which, you know, are cool. Your little Star Wars pop-up book. It's like Tauntaun. Jedi. But see, all this stuff I love. So there's that. Little Star Wars fan club letter. These are lobby cards. These are awesome. Got your Bantha. This I had never seen before, so I'm actually going to keep this. So I guess, I don't know if this was, if it was homeschooling or how to learn to read better. Like, it's, there's like assignments in here. But it's all related to Star Wars. And then at the end, there's the answer key. And there's 2 different volumes. I just never seen them. And then there's the paperback version of the Story of Star Wars, which will also be in a hardback version like this. But then, and then there's just these, I don't know, these just little cool things. Multiplication. Monster activity book. ... Puzzle picture book. Word puzzle book. These are just cool. Look at that one. That one's cool. Computers. You learn about computers in the 70s. So these books in paperback form, I guess they did through the Scholastic or somebody, or this slipcover that held the 3 paperbacks. I hadn't seen this before. So I like that. I'm going to keep that. And then this was just like a price guide that I think Gus Lopez and somebody else did. Cool. Where they try to document every toy. The only problem is every picture is so ridiculously small. It's just, I mean, it's good for reference, but then it's like, I want to I want to try to make everything bigger and I can't. But everything's in here. All right, so, oh, and these are cool. So another coloring book. I love these things. So I used to get these and then it would open up again and you read again and then you had a giant poster for your bedroom. And these are like the poster monthlies. And there's a lot of them, especially for Star Wars. There's not as many for Jedi and Empire. They did a lot for Star Wars. Okay. He didn't have these in these magazine. Oh, there's another game. Jedi Arena, Parker Brothers. I just, for convenience, put them in these comic boxes or magazine boxes. Okay. So then there's that. All right, so we're done with this. So now this. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so now this was super cool. So these are the weapons kits. So these are all Star Wars mail-aways. But again, he played with them. So he kept the box, the figures were played with, everything was taken out, he just put it back. So they're not, I don't think that gun went with that. So he might have added some extra accessories. I don't think you got a Stormtrooper blaster. So you're like, yeah, look, Boba Fett, mail away. It's going to be awesome. I'll show you that in a second. So there's your little paperwork. Note to consumers, originally our Star Wars Boba Fett figure was designed to have a spring-launched rocket. The launcher has been removed. Thank you for your support. So this is it. It's just, it was heavily played with, like most Boba Fett's were as a kid. So all the green on his chest is gone. Oh wait, it's gonna fire now. Just kidding. That'd be cool. So he kept everything that he had as a kid, all the packaging, everything. I consult, like these weren't in magazine boxes. Like I tried to clean, because there was just so much stuff. Because again, this is one of 3 trades that happened in a 5-hour period. I was doing trades 5 straight hours. We're still on this guy. So this guy kept all his original figures. So when you look at these initially, you're going to be like, holy mackerel. So now here's what he did with all his figures. Bubble is 100% sealed. Never been removed. Gun's still on the tape. What he did is he cut a door out of the back. It's going to be hard to tell. He cut here, and he cut down, and he cut there. He could open the door, take his figure out. And then when he was done, he could put it back in. So I haven't really seen that before. I've talked to another friend of mine, and he says, I've had that happen. So, I mean, really, it's the best way to have the figure. Because, I mean, otherwise, you know, you get all this graphic, because there's people who collect cardbacks. Like, here's a cardback right here. Here's a Boba Fett cardback. This is a great cardback. If he had done what he did on, then that front would still look beautiful with a bubble attached. And what's, you know, even with no figure and the bubble partially attached, that has value. I just think this is funny. Get your secret Star Wars action figure, but he's right there. So all these, so Marion's complete. It's the right monkey, because there's 2 different monkeys. That's the right monkey for her. The Streets of Cairo has a different monkey. And then there's a little clear stand in here. It's going to be hard to see, but it's right behind her. That makes her 100% complete. That little plastic stand that she stands on, otherwise she won't stand, is always missing. So unbroke thumbs, pistol, original whip. So then there's your indies. Okay. So again, every single figure in this box I had another indie. Tote. So if I remove these off the top, all of this are opened, but bubbles attached. So it's like, it was really difficult to determine value because it's open. So what's Bespin Leia complete with her blaster? You know, if she's real clean, got no fading, she could be maybe $80, $80 max. But, you know, here's your 12 backs with your painting back. And it's a lot easier to see here. Look. There's his. So that one flapped down. So he might have evolved to flapping out. So, I mean, I don't know if I just want to. And some of the early stuff, see, even has a little cardboard. See, in their Star Wars figures, they had cardboard backing underneath. And then they stopped doing that at some point. Like, none of the Jedi figures will have the cardboard footrest. The 3PO's got the footrest. And on the early stuff, or some of it, the proofs of purchase will be cut away because he mailed away to get the other stuff. So what I could do is I could just lay some of these out. So there's your R5. You always got to check for the red bar, which is not. But, I mean, it's a nice Vader. But, if you don't want to spend $2,000 on a minty 12-back Vader, put that on your shelf. It wouldn't, you know, you got to look hard to know it's been open. So there's your Stormtrooper, your R5D4, your Tusken Raider's coming out. Look at that. Dropping everything. So we got to put the foot plate back. Put him back. All right. But I mean, this is just crazy. So, I mean, imagine the value here if these were all sealed. It'd be like 10 grand, 20 grand, 30, who knows? It's just overwhelming. But I mean, they look wonderful. But see, like him, he played with him hard. So all the gold piping's gone. But I mean, it's just, it's all, I don't even know how to showcase all this. But, so, you know, you got Squid Head, Klaatu, Luke Jedi, so he's a good one. And that's a good one. He's any of the Ewoks with the bows, Saloon, that's a good one. So, I mean, kind of what I did is I went through every figure and what's the figure worth, you know, because not all the figures are mint. So what's the figure worth based off the condition? And then I added value for the card. You know, he's a good one. Paplu. 21B. Hello. So you got your Emperor, your Bib Fortuna, your Snaggletooth, your Greedo, your FX7, your Yoda. So you see, he's all there. Low gray. It'd be great if there was a vinyl Jawa. There's your Jawa. Snow Trooper. Okay. And then there's your Leia. See, that looks rough. So you could tell the earlier stuff got hit a lot harder. So there's your R2. Okay. Hotline. Okay. Kenobi. Your Chewbacca. Cloud Car Pilot. AT-AT Driver. Alright. I'm dropping stuff. Gamorrean Guard, your Power Droid. Alright, so there's that. More mailaways. This pile, I don't even know how I'm going to do this because I got stuff everywhere. It is pretty impressive when you see all this pile of stuff everywhere. So now these I star cased. If you see a price on them, that has nothing to do with it. I just took star cases out of the back. So these are the ones that he had that he didn't open. So these are all sealed. There's no real heavy hitters in here. But they're all originally sealed, so I wanted to star case them and protect them. You know, your Bespin Han, good old Ognot. You know, and some of the bubbles, it's weird how that Jedi bubble is perfectly clean and white, and that one's totally yellow. Your Rancor Keeper, your Lobot. There's your T-Bow, your Admiral Akbar. Now this one's cool, because this is your Tri-Logo Emperor, Anakin. So the Tri-Logos are really neat. They use really poor, crappy bubbles, oversized, really crappy. Sometimes they would even be packed without weapons, but this one's got a hole right through the top. You know, but he's still sealed. I wanted to protect him. Okay, so that's that. And then there's some more in here. If I had another comic box, I would have put them in here. So then there's your Leia with your poncho from Endor. It was the only Ewoks figure he had in the line from the Ewoks cartoon line. But this one's a foreign card, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So now you had, that's nice, Barada. So that's part of the end of the run. It's something with the end of the run. Look at how this is just so yellowed. Still sealed, great figure, tough figure. It's just that material on the last 17 stuff. It's just very difficult to get clear bubbles. Okay. That's a nice Jedi Vader. And then you got your Power of the Force, Poncho Luke, that's a good one. Yellow Bubble. Oh, so he had a Belloc. So there's your regular Belloc. We showed you the other one, the mail-away version. Oh, and then we did have a droid. So yeah, there's Jor Dusat. So he had one Ewoks figure and one droids figure. Oh, and then we had a Tri-Logo Dengar. He's like so muted in there. He's like so pale. I don't know if that's standard for the Tri-Logo. And then we got a Jedi carded Bosk. Okay, so then I think that is the extent. Who is... Okay. So this was an entire collection of Lees, which I wish Lees was still around. So these are toy magazines. You had Tomarts and you had Lees. So I was going through some of them, so I separated these. I'm in all of these. So, but look, every internal page on a Lees covered the original G.I. Joe. And then if you went to the back, they had a page dedicated to G1 Transformers. No matter what book you do, G.I. Joe. Then Transformers G1. So if you were to combine all these, and then they always do an interior guide. So right here, classic He-Man loose figure guide. So like, and you can go on eBay and pick these magazines up. And it'll be Kenner Batman. Here's the guide to WCW, 1999 to 2001. So I was going to see if I could find... Yeah, look at that. There's me. Right here. Full page ad, baby. That was the online me when I used to ship. That was December 2004. Jeez. Time flies. Where's my ad here? Look at that one. There's another one. Full page. So anyway, I'm in all these. At least that I found out of this collection. So these were just two obscure things that were in the lot, which didn't really know how to value. So he showed me this. So this was from ToyFare in New York in '93, I believe. So this limited edition lithograph commemorates the introduction of Exo Squad action figures and accessories by Playmates Toys at the 1993 American International Toy Fair. Each copy is signed and numbered by its artist, Will Mugenio? I don't know. And then, so 56 of 300, and it's signed. So I guess 300 people who attended the International Toy Fair in '93 got this thing announcing the Exo Squad line. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. One, you know, I'd almost say one of a kind, but one of 300 kind. So that was neat. I'll probably keep that. And then this is Batman, the animated series. And this is a style guide. So it's just really cool. So, I mean, it's chock full of awesome stuff. So, I mean, there was really no... I don't think I could find either of these to determine a value. But, you know, we'd come up with our offer and, you know, we... Oh, and then there's one more thing. It's over here. So these aren't anything too fancy. So these are what? Episode 1 store displays. Maybe Toys R Us. And then some Revenge of the Sith, maybe. Part of a... But it's none of that. It's this. So this is an original Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if this is called Style A? B? I don't know. But it's cool. He said his brother got this for $5 at a garage sale a long time ago. So you can tell it's got some age. But yeah, that's going to go... I got to get a frame and put in my office. So yeah, this is 800001. Oh, here. There's two more things.
So wait,
These two giant R2s. So these were still in his truck. These never got brought in. And then I don't think we had talked about the magazines. And I think the offer came in at 5. Oh, and then these were full of all the old kid sheets and everything. The sleeping bags, the bed sheets, the pillowcases. And he says, well, would you do 6? And I throw these in, all the bed sheets and the magazines. And so I was like, yeah, no problem. So that's your episode 3 one. I think, and we have the other leg. It's there. They Velcro on. But I had to get them in the air. And but that's the more sought after one. I think it just has more detail. So yeah, this was $6,000. And yeah. And then he says he has, it was either 10, Andy might remember, either 10,000 or 100,000 comics. So I was like, I don't really do a whole lot with comics, but he's like, well, what are you looking for? Keys or whatever. So that's a whole nother thing. So we'll talk about that.